Sinuga Reflections, where we talk about things that touch the heart, matters that affect you, your joy, your peace, your well-being, your mental health, your personal growth and development, your relationship matters, how to make sure you enjoy life with the best resources available to you. This moment we'll be reflecting on the emotion called anger and its management, and why it's very important, and the power of words and how to use our words effectively. These two go together because sometimes the word that we speak can temper down emotions and anger, and words can provoke anger. And when we are angry, we say some things that are regrettable, that are damaging. But when we are in better control of our emotions, even when we are provoked, we are able to manage our temperament. That's why the good book advises. He said, be slow to speak and quick to hear, because the anger of man does not work the righteousness of God. Because if man is angry, what you do will not be the same as what you will do when you are in a better control of your tempers and emotions. It will becloud your judgment, and wisdom will be very much limited, and judgment will be very much limited. Fairness will be very much limited. And that's why we are here. I will start with two stories which I just came across this evening on another platform. The lady shared the story of a staff meeting. The members of staff just decided to have a reflection time together, like during the break time. Let's just reflect together to encourage ourselves. Say, okay, what are the things that has happened in your life that have been remarkable and unforgettable, that no matter what you try to do, you find it difficult to forget them? So they were sharing their experiences. The one lady who is just a relatively newer member of staff, according to the report, she just joined about 3 weeks earlier in the establishment. She said, well, what she liked to talk about is about her eye. The leader said, what happened to your eye? She said, she lost the eye when she was small. By that time, she removed her pair of glasses. What was there is just the plastic eye. She uses this transparent lenses. So the boss said she didn't even know that she had only one eye. So she removed the pair of glasses so that she could see. They said when she was small, that's a lot younger, she offended her dad, or she did something that her daddy was not pleased about, and he was very angry. And in his anger, he said to beat her. And in that moment of anger, his hand mistakenly hit her in the eye. And they rushed her to the hospital. The medical experts tried their efforts. They even went to churches to pray that God should help her to save the eye. But as the story stands, the eye was lost. So that's why she became a one-eye lady. She wasn't born that way. It was the anger of her dad. So the boss said, and she was just planning that her son had offended her, and she just kept it in the cooler. That night, when she gets home, she will give him the full treatment according to how the boy had disappointed and hurt her. She said she just had to reflect. I think I have to have a rethink and reconsider my proposed action. Others were also sharing their experiences. Then one young man raised up his hand and said, "Excuse me, ma'am, I'd like to share my experience also. It's about my dad." "What happened to your dad?" He said, when his dad was small, he was a younger boy, he offended the father, now the grandfather of the teacher speaking. And the grandfather, in his anger, slapped the boy's father. And that slap destroyed his eardrum. And that's how the man became partially deaf, almost deaf. He was saying right now, with his eyes brimming with tears at the recollection of the whole scene. He said right now, they have to shout when they are communicating with their father because he could not hear normal decibels. And even that shouting is not getting the job done. A good number of times they have to write out what they're trying to communicate across to him. That is a product of anger when it is not controlled. And at times too, when we are angry, we say some things that can be very damaging to a life, to a soul, to a destiny. Parents may even pronounce curse on their children, which sometimes they see that become irreversible. Like the example in the Bible, Noah's son offended him because Noah got drunk and he found himself sleeping naked, and the son saw him. Instead of looking for something to cover the naked father, he went to call his sibling and said, "Come and see something." And they went backwards, cover their siblings. And when the father woke up and he learned about what happened, in his anger, he cursed that first son. And that curse stood in the life of the young man. That is the power of words spoken in anger. And the other one, Prophet Elisha. Some young children saw him coming up. Children, they just saw the man was bald. And I say, bald man, bald man, bald man, come up. And in his anger, he placed curse on them. And bear came from the forest and killed some of them. So this is just for you and I to learn that yes, anger is part of our being. We are free to get angry. We are bound to get angry. At the same time, that anger should be under control. You can control the anger if you want to. Now, suppose you are angry. As you are getting to your house, you are angry. You get to the gate, the anger I see they are boiling. That son, that boy, that girl, because you have had this on the phone, that broke your plate, broke this one, or destroyed the TV. You are coming home with anger. Let's say by the time you go to the gate, you now saw a snake crossing the gate. Will the anger still be there, or you calm down and think of what will not reset your brain, will not reset your mind? Or as you are coming, before you get to the gate of your estate, you learn that some hoodlums are disturbing in the estate. Will that anger still be there, or you reset your mind? Just for you to know that this anger emotion will seem to cling to, like some people like to revel in that and say, yes, it's part of the DNA of my family. In a line In our own culture, in our own part of the world, anger is part of our being. That's why in Yoruba they have a proverb that says, "Ọmọ àlè ló máa ń rínú tí kì í bí." That means it's only a bastard that will see opportunity to get angry and will not be angry. That's why the Bible says, "Be angry, but do not sin." Don't let that anger get you into trouble. So that anger is within your control. And this sharing time is for you to learn, to know. Please, if this is resonating with you, please give thumbs up. Please share your comments on your experience with anger. Have you seen where some people use anger and the anger has made things better or has worsened the situation? There are some wounds that may never heal. Like the man that blinded the daughter now. How do you heal that? Or the other story, I guess it came up on the net some months and years back. A man bought a new car and the child, just children like to write. Remember when we were small and we learned how to write? That time we were writing on slate with chalk, wooden slate. I remember even my elder brother, when he became a teenager, on the wall in the passage, he just used a permanent marker and wrote, there is a film you used to watch there called The Man from Uncle, UNCLE in capital letters. He just wrote on the wall, The Man from Uncle, UNCLE. And another told him, what is this you have done? You must clean it. The thing could not clean. That's not, unless the thing is painted over. Using spirit, whatever, the thing, I don't know, that permanent, the thing was there. So suppose that had beaten you, that I'm going to beat you until you remove that, you will have destroyed the life of the young man. That is why anger is a temperament, it's an emotion that must be controlled. So as I was saying, this little girl got something, a sharp object, and was scribbled on the body of the car. When you learn to write something, I remember the first time I learned to spell my name, I wrote it on as many places as possible there. So it's something common to children as we grow up, it's part of our growth process. You can share experience with your own child or own childhood, whether you did something like that. You just like to write, not like to write everywhere, on every space, just scribble something. So the little girl scribbled on the car. When the father saw what the girl was doing, he said, you are scratching. When you scratch with hot object, to scratch the paint. He just took an object, maybe wooden metal object, and started to bang on the tassels, that is on the fingers of the girl. Out of his anger, before he knew what was happening, he had crushed the tassels. Tassels are the bones of the finger of the girl. The girl cried. He came to his senses and rushed to get to the hospital, but nothing could be done. He had destroyed the bones beyond repairs. And the girl grew up with heavily deformed fingers. What story could he tell the girl? How could he repair the damage that had been done? This is not a judgment session, a judgment video. We are reflecting together. This is a counseling session for you and I to know. Yeah, you have a right to do everything you can. Like the Bible says, all things are lawful, but all things are not expedient. You are afraid to get angry when you are hot, when you are disturbed. But you have to be careful. Don't let that anger make you do something that will damage another person's life. The final story I will share is also linked with anger and control of words of our mouth. This is a story about a boy called Joe in US. 23-year-old boy. Well, let me say, young man. He graduated, and his father used to hound him about his job status. The man said when he was 24, he already bought a house. He already did that. He happens to be a vehicle mechanic. So he said, this one you are doing, you are lazy. Go and look for a job. The boy used to tell, Dad, I'm trying. I'm working. He said, oh, you just do, you just stay looking at your phone, pausing at your phone, then doing one useless delivery job for one app center. The boy said, Dad, I'm getting tired because I'm looking for a job. The job is not landed yet. When I was age, I don't have achieved that. Why did I have to say, this is not your age. We have one challenges we're dealing with. They come to hand the boy, calling the boy lazy, useless, not ready to look for work, just sleeping, just lazing around, just doing one delivery. Go and look for a normal job, not delivery. The boy looked at his father with lazy eyes. He said, Dad, I'm getting tired, I'm trying. The following day, by 6 p.m., the father got home and saw the boy in the kitchen. He was trying to drink from a cup of milk. The father said, well, what's happening? Are you just waking up? The boy says, I've just come back. I'm just tired. I'm just trying to fix something. The father came at him again. You see, that same delivery job. You couldn't look for a job. The boy looked at the father with dreamy eyes, leading with tears, and said, Dad, he lunged at the father, hugged him with weak limbs, put his head on his shoulder and said, Dad, I promise you, I'll never be a burden to you again. This will be the last time I'll be a burden to you again. Dad, please, take your meal and go to sleep. I promise you I'll never be a burden to you again. The following morning by 6:30, the father woke up, said, this boy is sleeping. Joe, get up, get up. It's time to hit the roads. He said, today I'm going to take you to the job center, the job park. We're going to look for the work together. He called, he didn't hear any sound. He got to the boys' room. They gave the boys' quarters, something like in the garage area. He saw the boys' room neatly arranged. The bed, according to the description, militarily dressed. That means everything talking neat. Then he saw the boy's phone on the boy's pillow with a note. He said that's when his heart started to trade. What could have happened? He rushed out, Joe. Then he saw that his pickup van was not in the garage. Then he came back, opened the note, and started to read. He said he almost tore the note. His hand was shaking. Then the boy explained. Say, Dad, I've applied to about 400 different places online. But they were talking about 3 years experience and so on like that. I've been trying. And this job I've been doing, I work 14 hours a day doing delivery job, and the money I get is what I'm using to pay the interest on my education loan I collected, even not touching the principal. You talk about me getting accommodation. You know how much accommodation costs now. So the money is not enough to do that. So I'm relieving you of everybody. I stopped taking my drugs 3 weeks ago. Then I told you I'm tired and weak, my head is throbbing, I don't even have control to stop the headache again. Because I'm trying to use every money I get to service the education loan I got. And I'm still searching for a job. So that's why I couldn't ask you for money for the drugs. Because I know you're tired. You beat at me. You call me lazy, weak-minded. I won't bother you again. Thank you, Dad, for everything. Love you, your son Joe. The man said he now took the boy's phone. He now saw that everything the boy has said is true. When he's scrolling through, saw the applications, the mails, even. Then he rushed out. That time he got to the bridge across the river in their town. Even before he appreciated, he drove heavily. He saw the flashing headlights of the police officers, and he saw the crane pulling out his truck from the river. The officer just held him, could not say anything. The damage had been done. And said, if he had known better, he would have controlled. He would have loved to have his son even sleeping 24/7 than to have got. So every Sunday, he said he would go to the boys' place of burial and apologize to him. How did that one achieve anything? So there are some wounds that may never heal. Before you start to give emotional pain, emotional wounds, emotional injuries to people in your relationship, please reconsider. Choose your words carefully. Don't start to compare yourself with other person. Like in Yoruba, they say, I can feel ori, I can feel omo. Why don't you be like your sister? They can't be, they are not the same. All you need to find the niche of each one, the talent of each one, and try to encourage them. Try to show some empathy, for crying out loud. That's why Yoruba say, it's only the dead that are hopeless, but once there is life, every child needs encouragement. Every child needs to be empathized with. Mistakes are inevitable in life. What we do is just try to reduce it to the barest minimum. So when your child commits some error, what do? Do you kill the child? Yoruba will say, Omo kin buru kale fekun paje. That is, your child cannot be so terrible that you chase the child to the tiger. For the tiger to kill the child and use the child for men. No matter how or the nature of your child is your child. As they say, tí a bá fi ọwọ́ ọ̀tún na ọmọ, a fi òsì fà wọlé. That when you use your right hand to beat the child, use the left hand to draw the child back to yourself. Better you draw a child that you have damaged with your mouth, that you have damaged with your hand, that you have damaged with your hand, that you have damaged with your thoughts. When you try to hold the child will just be looking at you. There cannot be response. It won't be a two-way action. When you hug your child, normally your child should hug you back and say, thank you, Dad, thank you, Mom. When you say, I love you, I cherish you, child will say, I love you too, Mom. But a child that you have damaged with your mouth, after whatever you say, the child will just say, okay, Mom, okay, Dad, I've heard. You can see they are not the same thing. That is why this channel is deliberately set up for you and I to learn moment by moment on a daily basis, that we should use every sort of disposal to make life worth living for every human being across our paths, especially in our relationships, either with your spouse, with your children, or with your co-workers. Some have destroyed their co-workers with their mouth, with their anger, with their actions. Some have rendered them to lose their jobs because of their careless, and tomorrow you now say sorry. Sorry for what? Something that could have been prevented if you are just taking pain to control your mouth, to hold that in inside. Because I get back at you, I will show you. You now see the person to and now say sorry. Sorry for what? Sorry cannot repair the damage. It made that person to lose his or her job, to lose our respect in the office. You already put stigma on that person because of your ego, uncontrolled emotions. No, it's not a judgmental video. We are just reflecting together so that you and I will not take pride or joy in causing pain. In some cases, irreparable damage to the life of others along their path. Only God knows tomorrow. Thank you once again for reflecting with me on these synagogue reflections. Thumbs up, share your comments, and subscribe if you have not subscribed. Until we meet again on this same channel, God bless you. Take care.